All right. Had a little bit of a crash there. Back though. Let me reiterate. Welcome to the first of hopefully many podcast, video, whatever the fuck you want to call it, experience that we're gonna have. Today is the first episode. We're just kind of doing a little tester, a little feeler episode, and we'll kind of see how it goes. And then once we see how it goes, we will either be back next Wednesday, or we will take some time, kind of deliberate, see what we want to do, and be back in about 2 weeks when Projects actually gets back. I might do some solo streams without him. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. Either way, let's get into it. So the first topic of discussion that I kind of wanted to bring up is it has to be the Apex thing, right? Apex Legends.
Yeah.
That's Projects, by the way. If you guys didn't know, he's right over here, looking like a fucking weirdo. His face cam is beautiful, as you can see. He's always dressed up. He's always in a good, hardy stormtrooper costume. How do you go to the bathroom in the stormtrooper costume? Is my question.
It has a poop chute.
It's got a poop chute. It's just got a little.
Like those onesies.
You just unbutton the back and it just like comes out.
It's
I guess in space it's not a problem, right? There's just a lot of space.
Yeah, it's all automatic. You just press a button.
It just comes out. So
and
obviously
it slides open.
It just slides right out. There's no gravity to stop you. Obviously, the first thing is this trailer right here that I'm playing.
And the revival of an old blood sport.
Apex Legends.
Some legends fight for.
Right off the bat, with the art style for the launch trailer, how do you feel about the art style? I have something I want to say about it, but it's like, how do you feel about the art style of the launch trailer? Put that in full screen for you guys. Like,
for fortune, others answers.
At first I was a little off put by it, just because, I know what Titanfall looks like because I played all of them.
Right.
And I think when I first watched it, I didn't actually see what it was, so I didn't actually know what I was watching.
It was just like a random ass cartoon.
Yeah, especially because I thought the trailer I was watching too was shitty, just because it looked choppy.
It does. That's what I was gonna mention, and let me show you guys here again. Like the first like 5 seconds of the trailer
and the revival of
is
an old blood sport.
It's talking about the blood sport and shit, and then right here, look at the robot.
For fortune, others answers. But we shall all be
like
it
looks like it's not in like 30 frames a second. It looks like it's not even at full functioning speed. It looks choppy while this fucking dude's giving a fucking monologue. You know what I mean? So I thought the same thing. I was like, what the fuck is happening? What I originally thought when I saw the actual animation, when I saw the actual art style, was here, I'm gonna switch it over so you guys can see it instead of just hearing it. What I originally thought was that it was like fucking Borderlands. Like that's what it looks like. Like, take a look at this shit.
But we shall all be forged in the glorious realm.
Like, I thought this shit was a fucking Borderlands episode. Like, fucking, ooh, Borderlands got a new TV show? I'm in. I'm down. Like, I'm with it. Like, it just, the cell shading and the characters, they look Borderlands.
Yeah.
Like, they look Borderlands, and then the guy talking hits me with a Handsome Jack, or whatever what's his name? Handsome Jack, right? And fuck that up. Handsome Jack. It hits me with a Handsome Jack beat. Like, look at this fucking clear.
This is my favorite part. Exciting.
Jackpot. Don't mind if I do.
Back off.
See, and like the movement's like weirdly choppy, right? It kind of looks like a claymation to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
stop motion or something.
Yeah, and so it looks a little off. It looks like Borderlands, so it already looks like they're ripping off of something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3 characters that they choose, which are the robot, the hologram guy, he controls holograms, and then this chick that's presumably insane, right? Because when you watch the description video, they have a video where it describes the classes and how they do. It's like when she comes to terms with the voices in her head. So she's debatably insane. right? And it's like
Yeah.
they feel very what's the game? Lawbreakers esque to me. They
Right.
feel like they're coming straight out of the Lawbreakers universe.
What I first thought of when I saw that the chick that like jumps through portals. I don't know. I
Mhm.
forgot. I don't know what her name is in the game.
I don't fucking either, dude. The game just came out like 2 days ago. It's fine.
Is if you look up a character from One Punch Man called Sonic, she looks literally exactly
The fucking assassin, the
like
ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. You know what? As soon as you said it, I was like, boom, linked in my head. It was like, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's actually true. See, like, this is the problem with the Apex thing. It already comes off as a ripoff of so many different things. You know what I mean? I feel weird for wearing a jacket indoors, but it's fucking cold in this office, so I'm not. Sorry, I fucking move in my hoodie. Anyway, it already feels like a ripoff of like 4 different things, right? It feels like Borderlands in the way that they present it in their trailer. Then it hits me like a Lawbreakers kind of feel with like the funky robot, the sarcastic dude, you know what I mean? And then it already reminds you of the anime, which it's not necessarily a problem because it's obviously not what they're going for. They're obviously not stealing anything. But like
Yeah.
it makes you a little skeptical, it makes you a little like, do I really want to play this shit? But the part that annoyed me the most is they're walking through this, well, I didn't get at first, but they're walking through this flashback. So like this is like a flashback of her saving his life, and then they snap cut to him saving her life. Or not snap cut, but they like transition into another flashback, right? Of him saving her life. I didn't get that shit at first. So it makes it like really disconnected. Like, are they in a death match or are they just looting the empty zone, the town that they walked into? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make much sense what the fuck they're doing. And then the robot's just like, dude, I got 10 kills. I should get the loot. And it just feels very off. It feels very disconnected. It makes it feel like it's a game show. More than like this is a death match. People are dying. A fight for your life. You know what I mean? On top of that, my my biggest like with it is they call themselves legends.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's not very creative.
like it's forget the fact that they use the name legends, right? Forget that. Let's just ignore that fact, right? Let's pretend that's the most original thought that's come out of this whole fucking trailer. All right? Forget that. But the actual character himself calls him, like, they call themselves legends. The girl's like, legends don't choke under pressure. Like, what? You do know you're not a legend while you're still alive, right? You become legendary afterwards, right? Is that like, am I incorrect, or is that not how it works? I guess you can be a legend while you're still alive, though, huh? Like,
Just,
technically
like, do
speaking.
something that can be considered legendary, I guess.
Yeah, like if you got a monument in your name, then all right, you can, like, you're considered legendary. But how douchebaggy are you to be like, I'm a legend? You know what I mean? Like, it makes the game seem completely disconnected. And I know that they're going for a sarcastic feel, right? Like there's no other.
Oh, yeah, it's like super satirical.
Yeah, there's no other option there, and I get that, but they come off as dingle fucking berries. Like, I think we can all agree. Let's see if it points it out in this fucking monologue right here. Where's the? Yeah, this is the clip of him.
You. Now you see me, now you don't.
Sorry, did I confuse you?
Mother.
Isn't sneaky your specialty?
Like, the guy fist bumps his fucking hologram. Like really? Like that guy fist bump his fucking hologram, dude. Like, how much more of a dingle, not a dingle, sorry, a douche canoe can you present one of your main characters as? Like, he's already unlikable in my personal humblest of opinions. Like, I feel like you agree with me on that one, though.
I don't really think he's like that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like right at the start, But like I was watching some people play as him,
Mm-hmm.
and I got really annoyed of his character pretty fast.
Yeah, they
Because
never shut up.
when he throws out his hologram or something like that,
Right.
and when he uses like his ability in the game, he always says something along the lines of "get bamboozled" whenever he like throws it out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He says like some kind of one liner. He's like "get bamboozled" or something like that. And it was I was like, okay, maybe like the first 20 times it was alright.
The first 20 times. Yeah, I can see it getting. They're definitely gonna have to pump in some voice lines, or we're gonna have troubles. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're smart, like savvy, sarcastic dude has two voice lines, there's gonna be an issue. Hold on. Hold on. I got his character intro here. Let me take a look at it. I'll put it on here for the stream to watch as well. Let's take a quick peep.
Mirage doesn't take himself too seriously.
I gotta admit, I may have tricked you.
But don't be fooled. He's a master of deception.
This was just a lovely time. Thank you for this.
Equipped with the most advanced holographic technology, his illusions can trick even the most focused competitors. So make sure you know who you're shooting at all times. Because love him or hate him,
It's dupes o'clock.
Mirage brings that special something to the games.
You got bamboozled. You better not come back to haunt me.
So immediately he says his three lines, right? He goes, "It's dupes o'clock. You know, you got bamboozled." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like immediately, those are the things he says, and
Like at first it's not so bad. Like yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. It's a little obviously not serious. Like the intro says, he doesn't take himself seriously.
mm-hmm.
But I think that will get old pretty fast. I don't know what people think about it so far, since it's only like been a
2
day
days into the
since the
game.
game's re-released or something.
Yeah, it's like a day, 2 days in the game. I think it came out yesterday.
Right.
Obviously, I do a lot of research on these things before I start talking shit. No, but like it's one of those things that like it becomes like a niche kind of thing, right? Like this character has this one aspect about him, and those either go 100% like perfect and good, or they just like turn into complete garbage. And the problem is that they become this one trick pony. Like this guy is funny, that's his only thing. You know what I mean? You got to keep him funny. The second he stops being funny, that character is no longer useful to your game. And that's a hard thing to keep up. The thing about like Fortnite and PUBG, for example, is that their characters don't have any particular thing that they need to keep going, right? Because they have no voice lines, they have no personality besides what the user brings into the experience, right? Like they have nothing except for that.
Their skins and stuff.
Yeah, and even then, it's like what the user chooses, like what you want the character to look like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like when obviously a lot of the comparisons have been made of like Overwatch, Borderlands, Fortnite. You know, those kind of games are combining because they have the class system. Anything that has a class system at this point, or like specific characters that do specific things with like abilities, is immediately getting drawn to Overwatch now. It's regardless of how unoriginal or original the character may be, it's immediately over. Same thing happened with Lawbreakers. The second Lawbreakers came out, they're like, oh, it's like parkour Overwatch. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that was really annoying me about Anthem. Is just you have like masses of people just be like, oh, it's just Warframe. Oh, it's just Destiny.
Right.
Like, those aren't the only games that have done that. Sure, they're probably the most popular, but they're not the only ones.
Yeah, that's there's something to be said there with how us as like a culture, as a generation, right? Because it's typically the people around our age that do that. And it's unfortunate because then it makes us all look like a bunch of fucking assholes like me with these fucking glasses because I don't want to fucking have a headache while I'm fucking in the middle of this shit. I'll talk about the glasses in a minute. But it's whatever's dominating the media that becomes the original source, which is kind of unfortunate, right? Because when you think about Anthem and you think about Destiny's, they're massively multiplayer RPGs. They've been around, they've happened, people have done them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a shitload of different examples of them being done successfully and unsuccessfully, and people immediately go for the most popular. So like World of Warcraft has classes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft has class specific items, class specific, abilities and traits, just like Destiny. Just like Overwatch, you can make that example, right? Like the specific character you pick, they have specific classes, you know what I mean? Warframe, class specific armor, class specific abilities. Like that's not a fresh new take. That's how you make the game feel more cooperative, in my opinion. When you have class specific things, you need your teammate, the healer, to heal you, or else you're fucked. And I think that saying that Anthem is just like Destiny is kind of already like no, because Destiny you can run solo regardless the class. They're almost exactly all the same. They have different, like, back me up on this. They look different, they jump different, but you get the same guns. Your armor basically becomes the same, and you have a different super. Like, other than that, you're basically the same class. Everybody gets like 3 different grenades. You know what I mean? Like, sure, the Titan gets a bubble shield, but it's like nobody fucking stands behind that fucking thing anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, tell me how many times have you been like, oh man, if only I had the Titan shield, we would have survived that. Exactly. 0
Probably.
fucking times. 0 times.
Probably never, yeah.
It's irrelevant in a game like Destiny. And I haven't played it recently, and I know that everyone's like, oh, it's the best it's ever been. How many years after the release of the second one? A little too late in my opinion, but it's still, I highly doubt that the classes have become more like you need each class to successfully do stuff. Yeah, more specialized. And in WoW, if you don't have like a healer and shit, you're fucking done, dude. Like, you need your healers, you need your tanks, you need your DPS to successfully carry out a lot of the shit in WoW and in games like WoW. WoW being the prime example, obviously, because it's the most popular one. But like even in Warframe, I found that the frames really are more for a play style thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much Warframe have you played? Like, have you played like a good amount?
Oh no, it's not
No.
played that much at all.
I
on PC, I think I've only played like about an hour.
Oh,
I think I played a little bit of it on console as well,
An
like
hour?
a long time ago. Yeah,
You're
I
a
think
fucking
like
expert.
an
What are you
hour.
talking about, man? An hour on the internet?
Well,
That's
I know everything. Yeah,
that's expert mode.
I know all about the 30 frames and all that.
30 frames. Anyway, I played a little bit. I tested out like 2 or 3 of the what are they called? They're called Warframes, right? That's what they're called.
Yeah, they're just called frames. Yeah.
Frames, right? That's excuse me. But they're really more of a play style kind of thing rather than a cooperative team thing. You can just kind of solo ninja that shit. But then again, Warframe doesn't like make it seem like you need a team, right? Like Destiny, you need 6 people to even start the fucking raid, right? Or did they change that? Did they switch that out?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I don't think so either. When we were playing, you needed that many people though, right? Like, it was a necessity.
Yeah, and there was like no matchmaking and shit. You just had the.
I do remember there was no match,
people.
but they have added matchmaking. I know that they have like the looking for a group and like the temporary like add-on character, and like you can bring on like somebody that's not normally in your group of friends and shit. But in that aspect, Destiny kind of caters more to like, I want to make it a team-based game.
Mm-hmm.
And Apex is doing the same thing with you can only play in squads of 3, correct?
Yeah.
So you can only play in squads of 3. But what I was looking at here with some gameplay, some people streaming, like you said, and some of these like assist guys, like this what is this guy's name? Caustic. He's kind of like an area of denial guy, right? Like, he puts out gas, you know what I mean? Sets up like little traps and shit like that. It seems like the fact that you are in a squad of 3 and the specializations are not necessarily like super dependent. Like you don't absolutely need this character in your squad or you're going to fail. But it does seem like you can at least balance a team of 3 and make a killer squad to play to your team as a whole strength, which right there is already speaking volumes more than Destiny. So the comparison starts to fall apart right there because it's like it's already at launch far more cooperative than Destiny, which is a game that like pushes that you have to be cooperative, you have to be a team in a fucking unit. So immediately they're already better than Destiny in that aspect. Like just right off the fucking bat.
Yeah, I saw that you could make like pretty like well built teams where your like abilities work together.
Like the combination factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's where I see the comparison of Overwatch, right? Like the wombo combos, that ain't Falco of Overwatch, you know, like the graviton surge where everyone gets sucked in the middle and then you fucking McCree ult everybody and everybody gets fucking one shot. Like I get that. That's a fair comparison, I feel. But I'm in the middle ground right now. I'm not gonna play it just yet. Maybe next week, you know what I mean? Once I see a little bit more. But the reason I am not 100% like this game is going to be terrible, right? Is because it's made by the people who made Titanfall. And Titanfall 2, hidden success, right? I think you're probably on board with that statement right there.
Oh yeah. It is criminally underrated and not as popular as it should have been.
Yeah, the first one came out, everyone kind of like brushed it off. It wasn't crazy good, you know what I mean? Like I think we can both agree it wasn't the best thing in the world, but it also wasn't the worst. It brought some new aspects. It made the non-playable characters, like the NPCs that were running around, kind of fill the little gaps of action, which I thought was going to be a bad thing. I was like, fuck no, that's dumb. And then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I kind of like this. This is kind of, you know what I mean? A little farm and a little action. And then number 2, the storyline, right? That's where.
Oh yeah.
Like
the storyline was really good. I liked it.
That's, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, oh fuck, I just lost it as soon as I was thinking about it. The fucking desert game where it like gets all trippy and shit. It's criminally underrated as well.
Desert game.
Spec Ops The Storm or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, Spec Ops The Line.
Spec Ops The Line.
That is a fucking great game.
Great game. So if you're looking for a game to play, that's criminally underrated, Spec Ops The Line and Titanfall's 2, specifically number 2 storyline. So I think that because they're criminally underrated, like these guys, they have something. You know, they got a little thing in the bank there. Like they have talent. You know what I mean? And I'd like to point out this specific team, from what I can see, has no loot boxes. Have you seen any loot boxes, or did I miss that?
In Apex, there are.
There are loot boxes. Never mind. The game is shit. Throw it in the garbage. I'm fucking done. This week's episode is over. I'm out of here. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around.
Yeah, they have like the cosmetic loot boxes, cosmetic game type stuff.
Fortnite. The way Fortnite's formula is working.
Yeah, like just like how Overwatch and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
Overwatch as well.
Hero skins and stuff.
Yeah. I will say this. I took a look at Fortnite's prices for their skins. They're fucking expensive.
How much are they?
They're like I was looking at one that was like $5 or $6 for a fucking skin. Like one skin. That seems like a lot to me. Is that not? I feel like that's a lot. I don't know. Is that just me?
Is it like a skin for the characters, like a weapon skin or something?
No. It's like a skin. I think it was a skin for the character. I had it pulled up.
Too bad.
I've had it pulled up, but I have 85 fucking tabs here for the podcast, so I don't know where the fuck it's at. I guess now that I think about it, though, a game that you and I both kind of were really sad died, fucking Paragon. Talk about that for a second. Fucking Paragon. Moving off of Apex, Just let me just seal the Apex thing. I'm optimistic, but I'm a little wary. I'm ready for it to crash and burn. It's part of EA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't trust EA right now. EA is it's crushed us in so many ways lately that I am a broken, beaten, and bruised man when it comes to EA. But I will say, if they keep it fresh with like the relentless voice lines and like they keep up the goofiness and they don't get too if they don't get to that point where it's too satirical, right? There's obviously that tipping point. You know what I mean? Where it's just like you're trying too hard to be satirical, where you fall off and you just come off as annoying, right? Like you got to hit that point.
If you kind of want a good example for that, I would say Sunset Overdrive is probably a good example.
Yes.
Something that might be a little too much sometimes.
Yes. They go a little off. They get to the top of the hill and then they fucking jump off the cliff. Like, you need to relax. So I am optimistic towards it. I hope that it is a good game. I hope that it starts to dethrone Fortnite in the world of the media, even though I highly doubt that. It is killing it on Twitch right now, though. It is killing it on Twitch. I'm just hoping that I see less Fortnite dances in public. I personally don't hate Fortnite. I don't have anything against Fortnite. It's a good game. Epic did a good job. You're fucking geniuses, in my opinion, for making all these little kids buy your t-shirts, your fucking backpacks, and dance in public. Basically free promotion out the ass for your game. And it's a well-made game. We cannot knock it for being a shitty game because it's properly made. It's like Call of Duty, right? It's the same thing every year, but it's polished crap. So we buy it. Right? I've played Fortnite. I've won in Fortnite, but I am tired of seeing it everywhere. Like, you can't take a shit without a kid fucking flossing. Like, it's absolutely insane. Fucking Halloween. Sorry to interrupt you. I let you hit you. Halloween. There was a kid in the fucking piñata costume, like the little llama. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's worse than Angry Birds a few years ago. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Just, we're gonna keep an eye on Apex. Hopefully it does well. Hopefully it keeps it fresh. Like I said, I will try it probably next week. Because tomorrow I have to work late. Friday I have to work late. Saturday I have to work late. Sunday I have to work late. So Monday hopefully I get a chance and I take a look at it. And or actually no, I won't play it because you won't be here. I'm not gonna feel comfortable jumping into a squad. That's also a problem. That you have to play with squads, and when you have no friends like me, it becomes a problem. But moving on to Paragon. Yeah. For a quick sec. I know it's old, it's dead, nobody fucking cares about it anymore. But the reason I brought it up...
Not really, no.
The reason I brought it up is because, do you remember how much the skins used to cost in that game?
I don't remember, because I don't think you could buy skins when we were playing it.
You could. Not when we were playing it. It was a little bit after we were playing it, because I logged on to check out the games and because if you remember, I originally was like, this game is getting fucking thrown in the wrong direction. Like, it's making shit too simple, it's making shit too quick, too easy, and it's killing the game. So I logged on to check. You could buy them. They were like $8 to $10, if I remember correctly, for one skin. Like,
it varied on like the tier it had.
Yeah, the tier,
because there's like a tier system for it.
Yeah, there was a tier system for it. But the thing I thought was weird is like $8 for a skin. And have you ever seen Smite skins? Speaking of another game that's kind of irrelevant at this point. Smite skins, when you would purchase like the expensive ones, like the legendary ones, they would change your voice. Well, not your voice lines. They would change your abilities. So like if you were Hercules and you threw like a boulder and you were playing like the Babe Ruth skin, you threw a baseball instead of a boulder, right? It added that extra oomph and polish. Yeah. Remember that, right?
Yeah.
The skins in Paragons didn't do that, which I thought was weird. I know that's not what contributed to killing the game. I'm pretty sure it was just the fact that the people who bought the game were like, "Fuck you! You're not competing with fucking League of Legends," even though
I think they did do that in a way. They're like not like their base kind of skins. It was just like a color change or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're like higher tiered ones did.
See, I played in one of the higher tier skins and it didn't do that. I don't know if it did that after I completely gave up on the game once it got like just like fucking nonsense.
'Cause
Potentially.
I think I remember seeing like for skin for Gideon,
Mm-hmm.
like I think he turned into like I think it was like a skeleton pirate looking dude.
Right.
I think I remember his black hole like ability being different with that skin, but I don't really remember entirely.
You know, you
'Cause it was
might
a
be
little while
right,
ago.
but like I said, it might have been once I completely stopped giving a shit about the game.
Yeah.
Let's talk like, and that's a perfect example of a game that had such good potential, and was just like shit on. You know what I mean? Like, and the whole like conspiracy theory that one company that they own, they don't own, but they have like a huge stock in League of Legends, kind of shit the game, or like shit on the game so they would die. You know what I mean? To keep
Yeah,
as little
they're kind of like sidelining it or something.
well, what they were saying is like, because they didn't listen to their community. That's one of the things that killed Paragon. Their community was saying like the complete opposite of shit that they were doing, and
Yeah.
it was like, no, let's just keep doing exactly what our audience doesn't want us to fucking do, and so people stopped playing the game, and it's like, yeah, it does seem sort of conspiracy theory esque that they were just like, you know what, dude, we're gonna fucking kill this game so it doesn't compete with our main moneymaker, even though let's be honest, nobody's fucking dethroning League of Legends anytime soon, whether we like it or not. That game is
No.
here to stay. You know how many fucking people tune into it? It's Super Bowl level big. I got some complaints about the fucking Super Bowl too in a minute here, but like it's Super Bowl level big in the world of esports. It's the most popular fucking thing to watch. Like, and they make millions of dollars. Like, no one's gonna kick that out anytime soon. It's gonna take years. Fucking Dota can't do it, and Dota's like fucking huge as shit as well. Like, I feel like today, in today's like era, in today's age, it's so hard to be fresh and new because the established brand or the established, you know, media or whatever. I know I sound kind of like, oh, the man, bro. I look like a fucking douche hipster today, and then I'm fucking talking like that. It's not gonna really help my image, but you get the point. They kind of crush anything that's coming out. You know what I mean?
As long as they're big in like the Asian countries, they aren't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, that is true. As long as
Because that is like where
fucking
the
Korea,
majority of their players are.
yeah, as long as like Korea and Japan are fucking clicking shit, you know what I mean?
Fucking sitting in their internet cafes and playing League. That shit's gonna stay there for a while.
All right, I switched the screen. I want to talk about the fucking console. How do you pronounce that shit? Yeah, I got the picture of the box up on the screen. How do you pronounce that shit? Like
I
Nataku, right? Nataku?
Yeah.
Like Nataku, yeah. Like that's. I want to talk about. This is a fucking console for playing hentai games, right? Like that's all I can. Like I can't even show the full website because it's fucking lewd. Like
I think it's just purely for hentai games, yeah. Basically.
it's
Well, not,
just for hentai games, right?
I don't know if it's just hentai games, but adult games, yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. That if you guys haven't seen it, I highly suggest you look. I don't think I can show it. I'm gonna show you part of the console. I'm gonna like do like a little zoom and shit like that. I'm gonna show you part of the console. It's shaped like a boob. Just simply put, it's a boob, like an accurate rendition of a human breast.
It's just a tit.
It's
a single tit.
And
It's
the
just-
nipple,
it's just
the
a
part I
single
thought
tit.
was fucking genius is that the nipple is the power button. Like that's fucking brilliant, dude. Like you poke the nip and it turns it on. So here's, hopefully this doesn't fuck up. Here's part of it, right? I can't show you anymore because I think I'll get in trouble if somebody for some ungodly known reason watches this. But there it is. Nataku.net. You get the idea. Nice and supple and curved. They show you how they make it. It's to say the least one of either the can we get a shout out to fucking Obi-Wan stopping Shaggy's raid, like a reign of most powerful god? Like Shout outs to fucking Obi-Wan, the true one and only fucking GOAT. All right, fucking love that man. Anyway, like I was saying, it's ingenious in a way that like it's so dumb that it makes sense. Like you made a console just for adults that's shaped like a boob. Like who the fuck buys that? And then it's at the same time like I kind of want to buy it just to have a huge boob that's functional on my fucking desk. Like, like it's fucking I don't know, dude. It's wild.
It's just something that's like so absurd that I just kind of want to like see how it is.
Yeah,
see
like
if it
you want
actually
to
works
buy it
well.
to test it.
Not for any,
No, of course, only for
reasons.
pure academic reasons, obviously.
Because in the specifications, it even says that the silicone-covered shell feels like flesh. So that's just
got to do an accurate feel test.
It is just one. I mean,
I'm pretty sure if we took a camcorder and you went up to some chicks and were like, this console claims it feels like a real best, we're doing like a feel test, I bet you dozens of them will be like, sure. Like if you're recording things, people are so much more down for shit, which is weird. You'd think it'd be the other way around, but like I feel like the camera kind of puts a like he's not going to murder me because it's on camera. And it's like that's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? Like it still probably kill you. You know? I don't know. I'm getting a little too weird with that one. But yeah, it's a boob. It's a console. They show you how they make it. It's the size of a dude's like hand, for lack of a better kind of measurement. But it's not that big. It's pretty compact if you ask me. It looked interesting, like to say the least. Boob console looked interesting.
It's out of stock? What the fuck?
Wait, no fucking way it's out of stock, dude.
It's out of stock.
I can't bring up the fucking website because it has like dick and cum and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
It is expensive though. I mean, like,
how much is it? How much is the going price on the
$170?
$100? Well, I mean, it's cheap.
That's pretty expensive.
It's pretty expensive for a niche item, if you think about it. Like I don't think it's basically a stream machine or a Steam machine, right? Like it has to be.
I would say it's more like one of those little like emulator consoles with how it just comes with those games like already like pre-baked in.
Oh, I thought it did like only like Steam Big Picture.
No, I think it probably has its own like OS and it just has games already installed in it.
Because I did see that it says just plug and play, but I figured that meant like it was ready to go from day one. Like it already had Steam installed and everything. Like the OS was just already ready for that. It's interesting. So it's like one of those fucking Pac-Man games you buy at Walmart that has like 500 games on it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So it's probably only like hentai games then, right?
Yes. Where did it go? It says it has 200 free-to-play and premium game titles. Which, I mean...
200 free-to-play games?
Yeah.
Well, let's break it down by price then, right? If you're paying $200 or you're paying $125, we're assuming there's some shipping, right? Let's cap it out at $150. Again, 200 games? That's a fucking bargain. Let's assume that each game costs like $5.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Unless they're already free to play on Steam. If they're already free to play on Steam, just fucking play them on Steam, dude. You got it. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, it says it right here too. It says the Windows-based console is housed within a flesh-like silicone cover and comes preloaded with the new Taku desktop application.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It seems
so it's basically like a little PC, I guess, or something.
That's what I was saying. I thought it was a PC because when he's building it in the video, which I wish I could fucking show, he's putting like a motherboard in it and everything. Like it's supposed to be like I know that like your Xbox has a PC, but the way it was like looking, it looked like it was supposed to be a PC. Also, what do you plug a mouse into it, or do they have like a little boob controller? I kind of want a boob controller. Like, if I'm being honest with you, like,
This is just like makes you kind of want to get it just because, just out of like sheer curiosity. How
dude,
the
we
fuck
have
it's
to
going
now. We
work.
have to get it and do a video on it. Like, that has to. You know what? Actually, this is a perfect segue to talk about testing. I did some testing last week, as you have known. But I feel like I want to share my experience. I feel like I should go get it so I can talk about it and like display it and shit. But it's upstairs, and I don't want to look at it because it caused me some pain.
It caused you pain.
Oh, I caused myself pain with it. But I'm talking
Oh.
about probably the best ads on YouTube right now, in my opinion. Right, probably the best ads on YouTube and the least annoying ads. Like, when I see them, I'm like, haha, funny. Have to be the Manscaped ads, right?
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're probably the best ads on you. If you don't know what the Manscaped ads are because you're using an ad blocker or something, shame on you. Right? Don't use ad block, or do. I
Yeah,
honestly
don't
give a
use
shit.
ad block.
Says the fucking.
I definitely don't have it.
I honestly don't have ad block. I don't use it.
Yeah,
Moving
I
past
know-
that,
I
that's
know
not the
that you
fucking point. That's not the fucking point, all right? The point is, the Manscaped ads on YouTube are probably the best. Like, they just straight up are like, you got swamp crotch? Don't pour this on your balls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just straight up. They're honest. They're funny. The guy who fucking narrates them is a G, and they're good commercials. They're just like, they catch your interest. They're quick. They're clean. They're kind of dirty, honestly, but they're great. But the whole thing that they're selling, the main product, is the Lawnmower 2.0, right? I'm gonna actually take off my jacket because it's starting to get a little warm. You guys are gonna see the chub, but it's all right. I'm a little chubby. That's how we roll. And they claim that they're nick-free trimmers, right? That they're extremely powerful, that they can cut through any pubic bush without any problems, right? Like, they just clip through that shit, no problem. Okay? On top of that, they're nick-free. That's like the big selling point, right? That's what originally piqued my interest and piqued yours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
It's
nick-free thing.
It's scary stuff. You know,
It's
you don't
I
want-
mean, whenever you're scaping the downstairs area, this is important for the ladies as much as it is for the dudes. For those of you older people that are doing that sort of thing. If you're young, wait until you're married. But it's important because you gotta clean that area up, right? You know, it's unappealing to start with, so you gotta keep it clean, right? Like, perfect example is your fucking face looks fucking god tier now that it's all trimmed up and beautiful, but before you look like a homeless person. Like, but
That's just some of the sacrifices you have to make when growing facial hair.
you do have to look like a bum
Yeah.
for a little bit, but now you look clean. You know what I'm saying? But so I bought the Lawnmower 2.0 because I was interested. Project was interested. Our friend Alberto was interested in it, right? And I made a sacrifice for science. I would say I think I can make that claim, right? Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say you can make that claim.
I think I can make that. So I bought the Lawnmower 2.0, and I had a Philips Nakurlo, whatever. I have a Philips trimmer that I used to use for my face. I don't really use it for my face anymore because I tend to go to the barber. Since I got my new barber, I go a lot more often, so I need it a lot less because I don't grow a lot of facial hair. As you can see, we're a slim, long stubble kind of lad. But I had these trimmers, and I had tried trimming my downstairs, and I got nicks. I can't say that I didn't get nicked, right? Nick's kind of a jerk. He hit me in the testicles. That's a shout out for any of you guys who watch that radio show. For those of you guys who don't know, the testicles, right? I got nicked in the balls, right? And Projects, you've been nicked in the balls before, right? Like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure every guy has. I mean, for the
Anybody
most part,
who's
yeah.
shaved down there has gotten nicked. I also do not recommend using like shaving down there. I feel like that's let's put that like let's put that out there. I don't recommend like razor blade. Yeah, like a razor blade. No, don't.
That's something else.
That's bad news, bears. I do not recommend that. If you're a youngster, like coming up in the world, do not fucking do that. It's bad news, bears. I wouldn't do it if I were you. But so I bought these specific trimmer. Why the fuck do you keep popping to the wrong screen? I'm sorry. The 3 monitors thing is fucking with me right now. So I bought these trimmers, okay, that supposedly are nick free. Did they say nick free or nick resistant? Actually, could you look at that for me? Like, could you check that real quick for me? Like, maybe pull up their website or whatever. Anyway, they are the nick free or nick resistant. They come with like a ceramic blade, and they're supposed to be very, very like just cut up everything, no problem, no resistance, no tug, no pull. We're fucking god tier trimming equipment. So I bought them in the name of science to test whether they were nick resistant, nick free. And I have to say, I tested with my Philips one, and I applied pressure to my downstairs, and I got a nice hearty nick, like right. And I was in pain. It hurt. I was pissed. I was annoyed, but I was like, I must continue for science. Okay, I had to wash the razor off and stuff because it had like a little bit of blood on it. It was gross. All right, it was nasty. Yeah, it was bad. Like I said, I think I can say that I sacrificed myself for science. All right, so then I take the lawnmowers because they were charging. So I take the lawn clipping mowers things, and I'm getting distracted.
Hello.
Where the fuck am I? What was I saying? Oh, right. Sorry. I take the lawnmower 2.0 and I start cleaning up, right? I start mowing the lawn, as they say. So I take it, I start mowing the lawn, and then I get again to like the bottom of like the basement, right? If that's your downstairs, like I'd say your testes are the basement, right? Like they smell a little funny sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like nobody really wants to go down there a lot.
It'd be a little dingy down there.
A little dingy if it's in the summer.
A little musty.
little basement, right? And so I'm going through, fucking smudged my glasses. I'm going through and I'm cleaning up, and I'm like, I haven't nicked myself not once. But with the Philips ones, I intentionally applied extra pressure than I normally would, right?
Mm-hmm. So
with the lawnmowers, sorry about that super loud snap. Wires, glasses, I'll fucking talk about them in a second when I talk about the glasses. So I apply a little extra pressure, right? Because I'm like, I obviously have to do the same amount of pressure. It's not fair that I apply pressure to this one but not the other one, right? Like, that's not fucking cool. So I apply a little bit of extra pressure, and I get what I can only describe as a tug, right? Not a full nick. And I'm going with the blades like laid across my skin the way that you're supposed to, right? Because like you're supposed to like there's like a flat end and you're supposed to glide with that end across your like your skin. And like I said, what I get is more like a tug than a nick. But if you want a super close like buzz, this is also accurate for your face. You flip it and you go where the teeth are like directly against your face and pull. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm like, this is a visual example. If the blades are here, you're supposed to go against like that. But if you want really close, and I do that and I go straight for the sack. I am fearless man. I am God mode. There's adrenaline from the previous cut. I'm going in for science. And I did successfully nick the sack. But I will say it took a lot more pressure than I originally thought it was going to take. So in conclusion, all right, they are god tier trimmers. Like, that's just as simple as that. They're great. They're phenomenal. They're worth the price tag. they're definitely worth the price of admission, right? It comes with 4 sizes. It comes with 2 heads to clip on. They have like one size, and then you flip it around and they have another size. So it's kind of limited in that aspect. Like the Philips one that I have, like it has like a guide that you can like move the blade or the head like goes up and down close to the blade, so you have like a bunch of different sizes. But when you're trimming your sack, I feel like you don't need that many options. You know what I mean? Like you're either bush, stubble, or bald. I think down there, right? Like in my opinion.
Yeah, probably looks the best.
Which one looks the best?
Just probably just stubble.
Just-
I kind of think bald looks a little weird.
Bald. I feel like I've gone bald like 2 or 3 times, like full razor shave bald. And I can only describe it as prepubescent, and I don't want to look prepubescent in the bedroom. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I look prepubescent as it is. I already look like a fucking child, which is why I grew like this shitty excuse for a beard. So I don't want to look prepubescent in the bedroom. Like personally speaking, I don't want to. So I think like a long, like a groomed stubble is the best in my opinion. So anyway, but when you do get to the sack area, it's definitely, you can be a lot less careful, which I think is the big key point. Like if you can make this go quicker, you know what I mean? And it works on your entire body. So you can have like you can use it for your face. I personally am going to have one for my face and one for my testicles, just I don't really want my face to be that close to my balls too much.
It's probably a good idea.
Even though I will say, okay, I have a question. Talking about grooming and stuff. When you have a towel, okay, and you get out, do you pay attention to where you rubbed your sack with the towel?
Yes. I
Yeah,
do.
and you don't touch your face with that area.
No.
See, I don't really do that. And I think part of it comes from the fact that I drive from the top down. Just makes more sense to me logically. Like,
yeah, that's generally what I do. But like sometimes, you might feel still a little too damp, so you gotta like go back to that area.
I feel you, but here's my excuse for not having to really pay that much attention. When I'm stepping out the shower, I am clean. Like, I'm smelling good. I'm smelling fresh. I always clean that area. It's not like something you just skip. You know what I mean? So like, I'm always feeling clean, so I feel like there's nothing to touch me in that aspect. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say it's just more of like just the nature of it. I don't really think it's like nasty if you do or anything, but it's just like just the nature of it.
I think it might just be like the inner homophobic in all of us. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not homophobic." You know what I mean? I'm fine. Like, yeah, I am too. I don't have a problem with gay guys, but I think that naturally it's a little less now. I think, but I was born in the '90s, right? In the 2000s is when I was a young lad, and then you're growing up with some homophobic like thoughts, like touching dicks is gay. Like I said, nothing wrong with it if you are, but I feel like it's just hardwired into your brain at that point. It's like you don't want to be associated with your face and penises. On top of that, every time you pass out, what's the first thing someone draws on your face?
A dick.
Exactly. It's a fucking dick. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it might be just like the stigma of like, I don't want balls in my face. Personally. But I don't really, maybe I'm just less homophobic than you, dude, and I just rub my fucking balls on my face. I don't care. No, I think it is just genuinely that, like, I feel clean, right? I've cleaned pretty much. I'm a pretty thorough shower. Like I wash from the feet up, and then from the top down. I do 2 passes every time I shower. And so like usually by the time I'm done, like I don't think about it. I just dry up.
Yeah.
I like how first episode we talk about shaving your balls and wiping your balls on your face. So I feel like it's a good range. Video games and ball sex.
Very very narrow scope on this podcast, as you could tell.
We are very limited to what we're going to talk about, and we will only speak of not PG, fucking PC things, right? Only politically correct language, only being nice and positive. I can't really say that because I do like spreading positivity. I think if you're a fucking douchebag, you're gonna get douchebag shit returned to you, and if you're like a nice dude, you should get treated nicely, right? Anyway, moving on. Closing statement on the trimmers. I think they are worth the price, 150%. They are not completely nick free. I know you didn't look it up, so I'm not gonna even ask you.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you? What does it say?
Yes. Well, it just on the website it just says that it has an anti-nick feature.
Okay, anti-nick feature. So I would say that points more towards nick resistant, right?
Yeah.
And I can 100% agree they are nick resistant. You gotta tug to get an actual like blood. You might get a pinch, but you're not gonna get blood. So I've done the research. I have little scabs on my boys, so that you don't have to have that problem. We're not sponsored either, which I think we should have been sponsored. Like,
I think they would have.
They should have sponsored that test. I should have hit them up and been like, hey, I'm gonna do a little test. For science. I'll do the test again if you want, Manscaped. You're watching this. I will take your razor against any razor, and I will end up with Edward Scissorhand looking balls for a sponsorship.
Nice.
I mean, they sell like ball powder and shit, dude. Like that. We live in a hot place. That's gonna be useful. You're gonna be thanking me for that later. But yeah, they are definitely worth the price. I think if you're looking for a trimmer to trim specifically that area, or like you're from the neck down, they're definitely worth it. They do cut clean as fuck. They do get pretty close. Like, they're obviously not going to get razor close because they are trimmers, but they do get close to a respectable point. And I have to add, I used the smallest size to kind of like do like the general all around. And I have to say, one of the biggest problems with trimming down there is it gets itchy. Am I the only one? You get itchy?
Yeah, if it's short enough.
If it's short enough, right?
It's inevitable.
Yeah, so like the smallest size, if you use no head, obviously it's gonna go shorter. But if you use the head to give it a specific size, only itched for like 1 day, and then we were perfectly fine, which I thought was a good indication that they have the size locked down to be more comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not itchy, you're comfortable. Simple as that. I keep catching a glance of myself in the fucking face cam, and I look like an asshole, dude. I can't. Let's talk about the glasses, actually. Now that we're on the topic, let's talk about the glasses. You can't really see them that much because the green screen's kind of fucking with them. But talk about the glasses. These are they're computer glasses. I don't need a prescription, but I keep getting headaches and migraines and shit like that. So obviously, one of like the go-to things that everybody tells you, your doctor, your fucking that's what they're called, an optometrist, right? They're fucking called?
I think so.
Your eye doctor points to is wearing fucking computer glasses. But if I can call out shots fired, Gunners, probably the number one, like, gamer glasses, like, reduce your eye strain and play better and see faster. You know what I mean? Like, that's a Gunner glass.
See faster.
You see faster, right? Captain America says he thinks quicker, I think, in one of his comic books. Is it thinks faster or sees faster? One of the two. It's some stupidly absurd shit that, like, I feel like would go on a Gunner ad. Like, see faster. You thought you could only see at 30 frames per second? Now you could see at 120. Only with gamer glasses by Gunner. Like, but the biggest problem I have with Gunner glasses is that they have a small, albeit very, very minute magnification. And that was probably my biggest complaint about them, right? Is that they have a magnification. and I have perfect 20/20. You know what I mean? So any magnification is noticeable and bothersome. You know what I mean? Like to any degree, putting on a glasses with magnification is bothersome, regardless of how little it is. And that's probably the thing I bitched about the most, right? Like, what do you think I bitched about the most? That or the color distortion?
It was probably the magnification that you say there is,
Yeah, the
which
magnification.
I don't think there are.
I'm sold that the ones I got had some sort of magnification, because when you take your glasses and you do this, shit looked bigger. You know what I mean? So it fucking bothered me. And then the biggest reason I believe, like, I genuinely believed at least the ones I had magnification is they made my fucking head kill. Like, they made my head worse. They're supposed to reduce eye strain. They're supposed to not give you headaches, and it made it feel worse, in my opinion. And then the other thing, let's say they didn't have magnification and Bizarre is just a fucking psychopath, right? And I'm just fucking insane, and I hated Gunner glasses because of the way that they're fucking, like, they're gamer glasses for real gamers. Become a professional by wearing these glasses. You know what I mean? Like, let's assume that that's the only reason I had a problem with them, in the magnification department. The second thing is that they're yellow tinted. Okay, they're yellow tinted to supposedly filter blue light, and if I'm not mistaken, it said that it made things look better, right? Like, it made colors look like more proper and more like in like HD. Like, these are HD glasses. Like, you were watching a video in 480p, put on Gunners, and now it's at 1080. Hashtag life hacks. Like, that's what I felt was going on when that shit would happen. But every time I put on a pair of fucking Gunner glasses, dude, it made everything yellow tinted. My fucking browsers were yellow tinted. People looked like they had weird, like, fucking spray on tans. And it fucking irritated the living shit out of me. Right? Like,
Yeah.
You had Gunners, didn't you?
Yeah, that's from right here.
Okay.
I'm putting them on right now, just for this.
See, this is why we need to take your fucking stormtrooper out of here and put your stupid face here. But the point being is they make things yellow, right? Like, they don't make colors more vibrant. They make them yellow. They're fucking yellow lenses. Like, it fucking bothers me. So these glasses are from Felix Gray. I will say, before I fucking, as soon as I said the name, they're Felix Gray. Oh, look at that. My green screen trips out. Look at that. That's fucking... No green screen! Oh, now I fucked my green screen up. Oh, no. Okay, we're focused back. We're good. This is a professional operation, guys. Come on. The Felix Gray, I will say, price point wise, Gunners are immediately more attractive. Gunners are like, what, like $60? $70?
Yeah, I think there's $60. Well, at least for some of them, there's like the other
like the cheap,
types
like the cheapest one is like $60, I would say. These Felix glasses are clocking in at $120.
Holy shit!
Holy shit is fucking
that
right.
Is expensive.
These are not glasses. You have to find luckily I found a code and I got like 10% off or some shit, like something, right? Like, I found a code. I got a cheaper set of glasses.
Should have bought that TIC console.
I should have bought that TIC console. That would have been a more interesting video. I bought a set of glasses. These are the set of glasses. They're like the closest to like square frame, and I have an oval, like, chubby face, so angles fit better on your face. I will say I do look like a douchebag though, admittedly. But I've been using them for a couple days, right? I used them all day yesterday. I've been using them all day today. And did I use them Monday? I can't remember. It doesn't fucking matter. But I will immediately say that I've been getting migraines again, which is why I bought the glasses, right? And I will immediately say, whether it's placebo or not, I fucking love them. There's no magnification. They filter the blue light and shit that harms your eyes, and they reduce glare. I will say that the glare thing, there's a light on this monitor. It does help it. I'm not gonna lie. They filter the blue light. They make it less eye strain, and the eye strain causes me fucking migraines because I'm a fucking wussy. I'm not a pro gamer, right? Pro gamers just power through that shit, or they wear gunners.
Like me.
Fuck you.
Well,
But
the one thing that I thought about gunners is why they were yellow is because that helps against like the harsh lights that the monitors produce.
the blue light,
Like
yeah.
they're like a lot warmer because
Mhm.
that also like causes eye strain. Because
That-
there's a setting in Windows that does that itself.
That's the blue light setting. That's exactly what I was talking about. They filter these glasses. If you look at them, like, you know how like when you tilt your glasses, you can kind of like see like some glasses are kind of like off shaded, and like when you do it to sunglasses, like you can see like where like the tint is like different and shit like that.
Yeah.
You could see that with these glasses. Like you could see that there's clearly some sort of like filter, right? Like some sort of like strange like tint on them. I don't think the camera will capture it, but like I don't know if you could really tell, but like you can see that they're not just like clear lenses, like 100%. Like there's something going on there. And they're meant to filter the blue light and whatnot the same. And I will say that the price is looking a little bit more worth which each passing day. Also, I look like a trendy douche, right? Like, so if I wanted to pick up some chick at Starbucks, I just throw on these bad boys and I'm like, hey, I'm a screenwriter. And then boom, easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's done. It's a done deal. We're finished. We're good. No big whoop. I will say Felix Gray glasses, if you can afford them, I don't know what the return policy is. Again, I stress if you can afford them because, like I said, they are on the pricier side. They are glasses though. Glasses are always expensive if you own actual glasses. You can get them in prescription. You can get them with a small magnification of like 0.2 or some shit like that, or you can get them with 0 magnification, like these ones. I will say that they are pretty worth it so far. I am happy with them. I have not gotten a migraine the past 2 days, which was I was getting every day that I turned on my computer. So
Fun.
yeah. Like who doesn't want to sit down on their computer and then immediately feel like a fucking bag of shit? Not me. I want to feel like a bag of shit. Like that's like the best thing you could possibly do. Felix Gray, check them out if you are looking for. If you're like me and you want computer glasses that aren't by fucking gamer gear, check them out. They are. The more I use them, the more I'm like, you know what? $125 was a decent investment. If again you have the money, because they are pricey glasses. Also, you get to look hip and trendy, right? You get to look like a modern day douchebag. Woo! Score 1 for the fucking glasses. I also wanted to talk because we're hitting an hour point here. I don't really know how long we're gonna go, but we're hitting the hour point. I want to talk about. I saw this article, okay, on Polygon about a movie on Netflix. It's called Velvet Buzzsaw. It's got one of your favorites, Mr. Gyllenhaal, right, from Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I believe the director from Nightcrawler, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look here. Yeah, Dan Gilroy. That's the guy from. That's the guy from Nightcrawler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay, so good. Gilroy. Jake, they're back. It seems like a hit. It looks interesting. It's about a chick whose like neighbor dies, and she finds like this stash of fucking art in an art like in a modern art is fucking. I feel like we should table that topic because I have some shit to say about that one. But it's like art, and like it's very powerful art. Like there's like a little kid crying in a bed, and there's like a what seems to be like a mom and stuff like shit like that, right? And she finds it all, and they start putting it up and selling it and making this like neighbor rich off of this dead dude's paintings. Already kind of fucked, right? But then like the premise of the movie is that, like the paintings start coming to life. they have some sort of spirit connected to them, start fucking killing fools. Not gonna get too far into it. I think you should take a look at it if you like thrillers. It looks like a good one. Like fucking art comes alive and basically starts taking revenge for them fucking exploiting this dead dude. But the part of the article that I wanted to highlight, I'll put it on the screen here so that you guys can take a quick look. That the reason I shouted out that fucking Obi-Wan put an end to Shaggy's Reign of Terror is because of my background. So this is the article. This is a specific area. Listen to this and tell me that you do not wish this shit never died, okay? It says, the Nick Cage led Man of Steel movie. Take that in for a second, dude. Nicolas Cage as fucking Superman? Like,
what the fuck?
Like, praise to the powers that be. Why did that never happen?
That would be awful.
Like, exactly. It would be such a beautiful train wreck. The one-man show that is Nicolas Cage as Superman, as the Man of Steel. Ever. The fucking... the god of taking up camera space and being an asshole on screen. Like... Tell me you didn't want to see that Nick Cage Superman movie.
I'd want to see that just for the experience of seeing him as that. Hold on.
Let me, not to interrupt you. You know what? Go ahead while I pull this back up. What were you saying?
I would just like to see that just because of how horrible he is at like showing emotion. I think it'd be pretty funny.
He's a Man of Steel, dude. He doesn't need to show emotion. He's made of steel. Let me scroll back up to the top of this. Tim Burton. You know who Tim Burton is, right? We're all on the same page when I say that name. Tim Burton. Yeah. The man behind such beloveds as The Nightmare Before Christmas, right? It's a beloved piece of work. Another beloved piece of work. Batman Returns. The fucking Danny DeVito penguin, the nipples on the bat suit, just complete and utter, just what the fuck, right? Like, I honestly, in its own right, it's so bad it's good. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I mean, you got Batman, you got Robin, you got Batgirl, you got Poison Ivy, you got the Riddler. Jim Carrey, the Riddler, I will say without a shadow of a doubt, is actually good in that movie. Like, I can't knock him in that movie. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember him in that movie? I don't know how long it's been since you've seen that.
No, I don't. I don't really remember.
His performance was genuinely good. Like, I could see him as the Riddler. Like, he's like the best fitting character in that whole thing. Danny DeVito does a good job as the Penguin as well, but Danny DeVito's just a fucking psychopath, which is great. But it was a Tim Burton directed Superman film with Nick Cage as the fucking lead role, dude. Like, I'm so sad that I never got this movie. Like, I feel like my life is less now.
That just sounds like it'd just be like one of those just movies that don't take it so seriously, like Epic Movie or Meet the Spartans or something like that.
Like a parody movie. It does sound like it would be a fucking parody movie. But no, it would have been Batman's Returns with Nicolas Cage as Superman, dude. Oh my god. The only thing that would have been better is a crossover between Batman and Superman, directed by Tim Burton, with George Clooney as Batman and Nick Cage as fucking Superman. Wow, dude, that would and to top it all off, Lex Luthor in the movie to combat both. And who plays him, Projects? Who do you think would play him? I'll give you a hint. He's already played him.
I don't know.
I actually forgot his name, so it doesn't fucking matter. The guy who Jesse Eisenberg. There we go. As Lex Luthor.
From like the
newest one, yeah. As Lex Luthor. That would be the fucking must-see film. It'd be better than Batman v Superman, at least, I would say.
Probably.
I mean, like, that's a low bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fucking Batman v Superman, that shit. I'm so sad that I didn't get to see that shit. Like, it's so unfortunate. makes me when I saw that, it made me tear up that I didn't get to see that shit. All right.
Something that wasn't meant to be, unfortunately.
It failed. According to the article, it like died in like pre-production or like production. Like it died in the middle of its like lifespan or some shit. Pre-production. Let's see. Movie never happened and is put by Gilroy. The movie's implosion was a wake-up call for his career. Whatever. The fucking movie never happened. It's unfortunate. I think society is less. Just simply that society is less because that movie never happened. It's a sad day in the world. I think that movie should have happened. I think the movie's great, and it's unfortunate. It's makes you want to fucking cry. All right, we're getting close to time here, the time that we're shooting for. So I want to bring up one last. I think it's going to be a short discussion. Put it up on the screen here for you guys to see. It is the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Have you seen this? I'm pretty sure you've probably seen this.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
The Xbox Adaptive
like
Controller.
a while ago.
Yeah, it's been coming out. To put it into perspective, I'll play a little clip of it. Is this the? Oh, this isn't the advertisement for it. This is just showing you how it works. All right, I'll show you how it works. Little clip. Oh, it's loud. But the way it works is like you plug shit into all these different buttons. So basically, it becomes a module controller with foot pedals and like, you know, buttons in any way that you could want to press them. Like you could play with your feet, right? Like you can make the A button a foot pedal and you could jump by stomping your foot. Now this sounds good and dandy for a number of different reasons, but the main marketing strategy and what supposedly seems to be the main point of this is for like kids who have disabilities, right?
Yeah.
It's mainly sold in that aspect, and then the advertisement, you should check it out. It's about kids with disabilities. You know, they're missing fingers or they have some sort of like messed up leg, unfortunately due to whatever reason, some sort of birth defect or whatever. It's unfortunate. I know a personal friend of mine, he had that and he was a god at Call of Duty. Let me just, since we're talking about games, this guy was quick scope, you know what I mean? When quick scoping was like a thing, he was a champion. And he only had half of his arm and he had two fingers, specifically these two, at where his elbow is at. So basically like this sort of style thing going on. And he was a champion. He was a cool dude. His name was Justin. Shout out to Justin. But it's catered to that niche, right? The disabled kid. What do you think about what do you think about the controller actually before we get a little bit more deep into it?
I think it's pretty interesting because it's not really something that I think would really be that profitable for them. You know? And it's not expensive either. I mean,
It's $100.
$100 or something like that isn't really that bad.
But from what I can here's the thing, do they sell the parts separately? It doesn't really clarify on the website. That's where I think they're gonna make their profit, right? Because it has like all these joysticks and shit. Let me take a look. Like these joysticks, right? So that you can obviously play with a joystick, and these buttons and these foot pedals, and so that you can clearly play. Regardless, the point I was trying to make is, you kind of hit it. They don't know that they're gonna make a big profit with the controller, right? Because it's kind of like most people who can play with the controller are probably gonna play with the controller, and this seems like it does directly cater to people with disabilities in the sense of like they're missing a finger or two. You know, like I said, they have some sort of like birth defect or they had to get amputated for some reason, and they can't fully play with a controller. I think it's probably one of the coolest things I've seen a big company do in a while. That's not like that's not like we're trying so hard to be nice that you come off as gross. You know what I mean? Again, talking about that, like you hit the peak and then you jumped off the fucking bridge. Like you were cool, and then you just tried so fucking hard that you made it cringy.
Yeah.
I think showing the kids using it and seeing how they're having a good time. There's a moment in like the long version of the ad where the dad kind of tears up, where he's like, people don't see my kid like the same,
Oh yeah. I
but
remember
he's the
seeing
same when he's playing, right? Like they see him the same
Yeah.
then. I thought that was really heartwarming. I thought it was a great way to market it and to kind of get the word out for the product. And it does seem like Xbox is genuinely in it for the kids. And
Yeah.
I respect
Let
that.
people have fun.
I respect that. It's like gaming is where you can be whatever you want to be, right? As you can see, Projects is over there deciding to be a fucking stormtrooper. I've decided to be a fucking douchey hipster. But in all seriousness, excuse me, you can be whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can be on the same playing field, which I think is a big one, as anybody, right? Because when you're in most games, it's the same playing field to start. Obviously, people are better, people are worse, but to start, it's the same playing field. Whereas something like sports, you're automatically at a disadvantage if you're shorter, right? You're automatically at a disadvantage if you're fatter, if you're skinnier, just depending on what sport you're playing. But not in video games. Video games does not give a fuck if you're morbidly obese or diseasely. I don't. What do they call it when you're too skinny? You know what I mean, it doesn't matter when you're playing video games because video games don't give a shit. And so this is like taking that one step further. You couldn't play before because you have some sort of disability. Now we're helping you get even closer. I'm not saying it's a perfect product. I'm not saying that they're automatically going to become MLG pro gamers.
Yeah, it'll probably take a little practice, but I mean,
yeah. But again,
you're probably gonna have fun.
Yeah, they're gonna have fun, and I feel like they're gonna have more fun because they're not gonna have such a hard time. Like one of the kids even says, like, I can't hit all these buttons at the same time when I want to, but now I can't because Xbox is the fucking GOAT right now. I think it's I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's a good thing that the Xbox did that. And I think it's one of the first things in a while, especially when it comes to the gaming community, it doesn't seem like a money-hungry, like, cash grab.
Yeah, it doesn't seem greedy.
It doesn't. It doesn't seem greedy. And the thing is that everything right now, with almost everything, but specifically gaming, seems so fucking greedy. Everyone seems so fucking, like, just, give me the money! Like, let's sell fucking Skyrim 800 times! It's the same game. Let's sell it full price every single time. Like, come on, dude. Really. It's insanity. We're getting too greedy as a culture, and we're buying into it too, which is the problem. Like, you can't be
too greedy as a fucking industry. That's what's happening.
Yeah, as an industry, I guess saying as a culture is kind of fucking too broad. But you guys like my Taco Bell cup?
All the money isn't enough.
It's never enough. And
more.
You need more. 8 billion, 80. What did FIFA make? $80 million is not enough. We need to sell.
Yeah, like basically $1 billion. Like basically made $1 billion.
It's insanity. I think that the loot box and stuff, it's gotten too far. And the biggest problem, I would say, is that everybody bitches about it, but still buys into it. You know what I mean? Like everybody makes these complaints, but then they go and they fucking buy loot boxes and they fucking buy skins and they play Fortnite. And a lot of it you can blame, I guess, on kids, but at the same time, like, it's not all kids. They don't have that much money. You know what I mean? And it's like,
because this shit's predatory, man. It just like
it
just makes you want to get it.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck, I don't really need it, but I want it.
Right. It does definitely feed the addiction.
It's fucking gambling. Right?
They know what they're doing. It's simple as that. Like, they're not stupid. They're catering towards the addictive sense of like, oh my god, I could get anything out of this box. And the problem, the reason I say like we buy into it is like it doesn't help when you have YouTubers and streamers and stuff doing like, I'm gonna open 155 of these event boxes and see what I get, and then they complain that they got shit for 100 boxes out of 155. Like, why did you buy that many? Like, why did you buy any at all? Like, you get them for playing the game. Like, just fucking play the game. Like, what is wrong with you? You're making these kids go like, oh, I need to buy boxes too, and I need to buy a lot because I'm not gonna get enough with the little amount of boxes that I get. Like, it's a travesty. But on the bright side, we have Microsoft at the end of this tunnel doing something that just genuinely seems cool. That genuinely seems like they're doing it to kind of help out the disabled players and just bring everybody a little closer together. Because we can talk shit about the gaming community all we want, and we can make all this like the industry is a bunch of greedy pricks, but the community of video gamers, as toxic and as shitty and as terrible as they can be, or we can be, right, as a community, we can do the exact opposite. Because you see it every year with things like Games Done Quick, Zeldathon, shit like that. You know, like all those charities that get helped, all that money that gets raised by people simply donating. And like, sure, there's like prizes to be won and stuff, but even the prizes are donated, so like they don't have to buy anything. You know what I mean? And like
the prizes, like the people who donated the prizes aren't like getting anything from it. They're just donating it for the cause.
Yeah, like they're adding to the incentive of making money. Like, you can like debate like, well, why didn't they just spend that money and like put it into the thing? But it's like, if you spend money on one Xbox, right? And let's say it's $300, and you get 500 people to donate $1 for that Xbox, you've made $200 more. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a smarter way to do it. But also, I'm pretty sure like those numbers would still be huge even without the giveaways. But Xbox is leading the charge here with this all-inclusive thing, and I think it's dope. I think that's like a little glimmer of hope for the industry right now. That maybe some people should take a look at and be like, hey, maybe we should do shit for our community rather than our fucking pockets. You know what I mean?
Nah. Just fucking scam them all from their money.
Just fucking
take all their wallets.
Just fucking schmaz everybody. Gaben just rolling in the bank with the summer sales. You know what you doing, Gaben? You fucking prick. He knows. Fucking winter sales, dude. It's $2 off, but I need it. I need it.
I'm not gonna play it, but I might. But it's $2 off.
It's $2 off. I'm never gonna play it, but it's in my library forever in case I ever do want to play it.
Till we inevitably lose our entire library to like some fucking like
Russian hacker.
Some internal breach that happens and all of our games are gone because they're not physical.
They are not physical. We are in a time where everyone is fighting. Everyone is getting greedy over a bunch of fucking ones and zeros in the cloud. It is an interesting time to be alive. I'll tell you that much. But it's also a great time to be alive because if we didn't have that stuff, like I said, like all the charities, all like the good that can be done with the community, fucking automatic feeder making a shitload of noise in the background over there. None of that stuff would happen. You know what I mean? The internet is equal parts fucking psychotic and beautiful at the same time. It's fucking fantastic. I don't know how much I would enjoy life without the internet, to be honest. Like, it's just with memes alone, the internet strikes a fucking huge like 2 thumbs up. You know what I mean? Memes are great. Memes are great. You wouldn't be able to watch your animes, your hentais, your fucking YouTube videos.
Without
you wouldn't
the
have
internet, life
PewDiePie.
would be pointless. I mean, let's just be honest here.
Without what?
Without the internet, life would be pointless.
For you, I mean, like, you wouldn't have like the Pewds. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have fucking Pepe. Would never have existed. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. Like, it's a beautiful place. It's both parts terrifying and beautiful. I will say that it's becoming a bit too fucking PC and Careberry for my fucking taste. Way too much fucking like fuck right off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, you gotta take the good with the bad. As equal parts of like PC, there's so much non-PC shit going around too. So it's like, you gotta live with it or without it. I choose to live with it. That's about. I think that about wraps it up for today's, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you got anything else you really want to throw in there, tidbitted.
Not really. I think that's about it for me.
That's. I had some other things like pinpointed and stuff like that, but I don't want to go too far over the time. And sorry, I'm looking at. I have some tidbits on the phone. I don't want to go too far over the estimated time that we kind of like aimed for, and I don't want to like get into a discussion midway and then cut it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that's a wrap for today. I hope anybody who watched or is watching in the future on YouTube, because we will upload this unedited, so you get the full experience. Right? And call it. I don't think we're cool enough to call it an experience yet. Actually, I don't know.
Experience the
cringe.
the train wreck.
The dumpster fire. I like dumpster fire better. I feel like it's more accurate because like train wrecks
There's
are
just
so
a bunch of random shit burning. So,
yeah, it's just a bunch of random shit burning, and train wrecks are so like explosive. It's like this whole fucking thing just flipped over. Like no, we're just like a little dumpster fire. A homeless guy's using to warm his hands. You know what I mean? And on that positive note, that ends today's episode. Again, I hope you guys watched and enjoyed. If you did, do whatever the fuck you do on YouTube. I don't know what's cool nowadays. Leaving hateful comments. That seems like a popular thing to do. Do that. Tell me how I look like a fucking piece of shit and I suck dick. And then I will read it and laugh. I don't fucking know. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a good night and a good morning or whatever it may be. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully we will be back next week. If not, then fuck me. Simple as that.